Hello everyone, my name is Anaya Ross, aka Realtor Ross. I am a licensed realtor here in the state of Georgia, and today we are going to be talking about everything I wish that I knew before getting into real estate. So when talking about different tips and tricks that I wish that I knew before I got into real estate, I wanted to make sure that these were all specific in terms of making money and increasing your profitability instead of just random things that I just kind of wish that I knew. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Thing number one is that 90% of your time is going to be spent prospecting. I didn't understand how crucial prospecting was into this business until I understood no checks came without prospecting. I think it's really important to touch on the fact that being an independent contractor, you are your own boss, you are an entrepreneur, and your business is either going to grow or fail as much as you try. When people talk about this business is literally as good or as bad as you make it, it is literally as good or as bad as you make it. There is no cap on your income. There is no cap on your earning potential. And I feel like a lot of people come into this thinking, oh, I can make it easy $10,000, $15,000 a month. That is not the case. The amount of work and upfront effort that you have to put in to this business to see any type of result is something that I personally wasn't prepared for, because being an entrepreneur is not for everybody. I think one of my favorite quotes when thinking back to this is that I needed to make sure that I was okay with working for free before I actually got paid for it. So for the past couple of months that I was in real estate and didn't make any sales, I was still working and doing real estate. I was still doing the calls, I was still doing house tours, and I was still doing all things real estate, but there was no check associated with it. So make sure that you are comfortable with working for free before you even make any type of profit. The second thing that I wish I knew was how to present my credibility as a realtor. Now, obviously, I am a younger realtor, so my credibility is always questioned. So with that information in mind, I like to make sure that I follow two specific structures to make sure that people know when working with me, I mean business. Number one is appearance, and number two is going to be knowledge. Appearance is absolutely everything into this business, and especially with me being younger, I don't always get the luxury of being able to go to a closing or an inspection in jeans or a t-shirt and some sneakers. That'll actually make me look my age. So instead, even if it's something as simple as an inspection or closing or something that doesn't necessarily require me to dress up, I always make sure I have a cardigan, a blazer, make sure I'm always in dress pants or a long pencil skirt, just something that'll make me appear and look more mature, professional, and older, because that just kind of tells them how I carry myself, and it helps me look a year or two older than what I probably am. For me, I like to use the term dress how you want to be addressed, and I like for people to think of me as that real estate professional that they can go to for advice and market knowledge and just overall fluency within real estate. And so with that, how I appear and how I dress is very crucial to my business and how people have been able to take me a little bit more seriously into this market. Now, in terms of knowledge, obviously, you got to know your stuff. If someone asks you a question that you don't know the answer to, either answer it to the best of your ability or say, that's a really good question. You know, as of 2023, it was this, but let me check for 2024 to make sure that you are getting the most recent and accurate information. Knowing your market, knowing different trends, knowing neighborhoods, knowing the area, knowing different places to eat. I mean, it's little things that if you know the answer to their questions, they will automatically put a little bit more respect to your name, no matter how old you are. And anytime I've sensed that someone is kind of questioning my credibility, I like to always give more information than what is asked. That way they can see that I know exactly what it is that I'm talking about. Also, asking them questions really helps, because you're able to, for one, get a better feel and understanding for what it is that they're looking for, things that matter to them in terms of moving. Maybe it's neighborhood, maybe it's amenities, but it also allows you to have a conversation. That way it doesn't feel like an interrogation. So researching the market and how you dress will take you a very long way in terms of proving your credibility. If someone asks you how long you've been licensed for, I would warn against saying the exact year amount if it's anything that's less than 3 years, simply just because people will look at you as if you don't really know what you're talking about because you haven't been licensed. And a lot of times people will go with a 10-year agent versus a 2-year agent. So if someone asks you how long you've been in real estate for, I wouldn't necessarily say, hey, I've been in real estate for a year. I would say, I've been a licensed agent for some time now. Before this, I worked in property management. I had a couple of showings to do with X, Y, and Z company. Like, just tie in anything that you had to do with real estate as a whole to kind of broaden your experience. People like experience. So give them experience. Just don't only say and limit yourself to when you've been licensed. Tip number 3 is how to stand out amongst other realtors. Now, this to me is pretty straightforward in terms of the answer. Number 1, you got to outwork people. And number 2, you need to add some type of uniqueness to your business. Don't just be the realtor that says, hey, I sell in Metro Atlanta. Work with me. Say, hey, I'm the realtor that sells to first-time home buyers. If you're looking for a first-time home package with low money down and X, Y, and Z, I'm the guy to go to. Hey, I'm the realtor that specializes in divorce and absentee owners. If you are going through a divorce or you don't currently reside in the property that you are trying to sell, you let me know because I'm able to do X, Y, and Z for you. And even with marketing yourself, even if you're able to only wear black or only wear purple or only wear gold, you could be the blue realtor, the gold realtor, the black realtor. Every little thing that you can do to help people affiliate you with something else to keep you top of mind will make you so much money in the future. It's not even funny. So if there's a realtor making 200 calls a week, you better make 300. And if you want to stay top of mind, be the realtor that only wears gold. Be the realtor that only wears white. Be the realtor that represents people who are absentee owners or downsizers. Essentially what I'm saying is have a niche and expand on that as much as possible. Tip number 4 is going to save you a lot of time in the business, and that's a good deal versus a bad deal. Now, a lot of new agents are going to be like me where they're like, oh, I just want a sale. Please give me a chance. And anytime that someone even expresses the idea of potentially buying or selling, you're going to be all over it. Y'all, let me tell you something. Do not waste your time. The reality is 60 to 70% of people who you encounter that say, hey, I want to buy or sell either are not talking about any time recently, I'm talking a year or 2 later in the future, or they're just here to waste your time altogether. To me, some pretty telltale signs of good versus bad deals are people's availabilities, how much time and effort and energy they're actually willing to spend onto this process. If buyers are willing to get pre-approved, if buyers and sellers are willing to sign a brokerage engagement with you, and just the overall speed for of which they want the transaction to get done. I've set out a multitude of appointments for clients to book with me, set up consultations, come into the office, go over listing presentations and plans, and go and show houses and all this good stuff. And if they are not putting in the time to at least prepare themselves for the process, they are not trying to go into the process. So don't be like me investing all of this time and energy into people who won't even give you a courtesy call or a text back. Instead, put that energy and effort into people that are new prospects in terms of calling, mailers, prospecting, just all that good stuff. Your time is money in this industry, and if you are wasting it trying to follow up with people who have no interest in working with you, you are losing business actively. And number 1 thing that I wish somebody told me, if a buyer is not pre-approved, do not show them houses. It's pointless. If they can't put an offer on it and they're not paying in cash, we're looking at it for no reason. You're wasting your time, you're wasting your gas, and at the end of the day, there's no sale after. And like my broker always says, if it doesn't make money, it doesn't make sense. The last thing that I wish that I knew before becoming a realtor are different apps that would help me advance into this business. The first one is going to be Supra, aka Super E-Key. This is $15 a month. Depending on what state you're in, it could be different. It could be something called different, but here in Georgia, it is Super E-Key. That is how us realtors get into houses for showings. So that's going to be a non-negotiable app. You're going to need to download that. You're going to need to buy some signs to put in front of people's houses for listings. So just keep that in mind. It's $15 a month. You're able to do house tours. It's worth it. Of course, if you do not want to invest into a super box, they're about $75 each, I think used, and $100 if they are brand new. You can go to Home Depot or Office Goods and get just a normal little lockbox, one of those little craftsmanship codes where you just put a code in and put the keys inside. I always recommend doing a Supra. I mean, that's the world that we're in, full of technology and all of that good stuff. So I recommend doing a Supra, but if you're trying to be a little bit more cost effective, that box is available as well. But regardless, you're going to need a Supra e-key because if you're doing showings and you don't have that, you can't get in the door. App number 2 is Key Please. So Key Please is great for both vetted agents and new agents. It's a great way for new agents to make some money into this business while they're not making any sales. And it's a great way for vetted agents to pass off their task for other agents. New agents are able to get experience, able to do showing for other agents' clients, able to write contracts or go and run errands, just be able to be in the real estate business without necessarily having a sale. So it's really great experience wise, and it's a really great way to make up some of that money that you spent whenever you were obtaining your course in the first place. So if you're looking to make some extra money into real estate and you're not necessarily making sales yet, Key Please is a really great app to use. Now the next app I want to talk to you about is not necessarily an app in particular, but a sector that has a multitude of apps that offer this, which is buying leads. This is very controversial. It works amazing for some people and it's a complete waste of money for others. Lead buying saves you a lot of time with prospecting. You probably don't even have to prospect, but it is very expensive. I'm talking the cheapest lead buying network that I've seen was $1,200 a month, and the most expensive that I've seen is $4,000. But of course, that can skyrocket quick. The thing about lead buying is that these are not guaranteed leads. These are just new people that you didn't necessarily have to call up on the phone to say, hey, can I talk to you about real estate? Now, there's a huge gray area with buying leads. I mean, sometimes it works for people's benefit and sometimes it doesn't. I would say anybody who wants to invest more money versus time into their business, definitely look into buying leads, but do your research on these companies beforehand. That's going to be most advantageous for you. But like everything, there is pros and there is cons. If you were spending $1,000, $4,000, $10,000 a month on lead gen and you're not closing enough deals to make that money back, it gets to be a waste of money very quickly. I mean, 2 bad months of not closing any deals and you're paying Zillow $3,000, $4,000 a month to give you leads, you get discouraged in this business very quickly. And you're already down $8,000. I mean, it's a quick turnaround. But some people opt into doing the referral-based leads where you only pay a commission once you close those deals. I will say it's better for upfront costs, but those commission breakpoints are way more money that you're paying back to that lead generation company than if you were to pay $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a month for infinite amount of leads. For example, whenever I was using OpCity, whenever I closed a deal, I think the house was about $409,000. OpCity received a paycheck of about $5,000 or $6,000. And then my commission was obviously, way less than that. Versus if I would have paid, let's just say Zillow, $2,000 a month, I would have closed that deal and I would have netted an extra $3,000 to $4,000 a month just based off of that one transaction alone. So it's really up to you. It's if you want to pay the upfront money or if you want to close the deals first. But understand if you do close the deals first, you will be paying a higher amount in commission in the back end. My next app that I'm going to say to download is going to be a CRM. Now, depending on what brokerage you are with, 9 times out of 10, they already have a CRM for you to use. This is essentially your dialer. This is to keep you organized. Think of it as your daily calendar, your lifeline in your business. It has everyone's name in it, phone numbers, birthdays, emails, different notes, different things that you talked about. I mean, it has essentially everything that you need to be successful into this business. So I recommend if your company does not have a CRM, buy a CRM. It's the best way to get organized into your business and keep up to date with everything. The next app I'm going to be talking about is Mile IQ. It is really self-explanatory. Essentially, it's just an app that you download on your phone that plays in the back end that tracks your mileage. That way, whenever it is tax time, you can go ahead and write off those miles and get some more money during tax season. And finally, the last app that I'm going to be talking about is Hi Hello. Hi Hello is an online business card that has saved me a multitude of times whenever I ran out of business cards, but people had asked for my contact information. You never want to be that realtor that does not have their card on them and has to get people's numbers or has to put them into your notes. Believe me, I've been there. I've done that. It makes you look super unprofessional. So trust me, get an online digital business card. That way, in the event that you run out or you don't have any, people are still able to find you, scan you, and it looks a lot more professional. That is going to conclude today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found what I said helpful, and I hope you learned something today. And just know that you are one step closer into making a 6 to 7 figure income with real estate. I have provided my socials right here in case you were looking to follow and keep up with me for more. And if you love this course, please shoot me a review and share with your friends and family and help them be in the know about what all is going on with real estate so we can all make 2024 our year. I would love to connect with each and every one of you, so please feel free to reach out and connect with me on my Instagram. I promise I will respond. And until then, if you have any other questions or concerns, please feel free to shoot me a message or DM me and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Once again, I want to say thank you all so much for your time and attention into this course. I hope you have a wonderful day and a prosperous year. Realtor Ross out.